Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm checking in with you. We are 1 week out to the day, next Tuesday, May the 3rd, Election Day. Now, early voting has already started in the greater Cleveland area, but Election Day, early voting has started all over the state. Hell, let's be honest about it. But Election Day is on May the 3rd for the first primary. Don't even get me started about the second primary. These Republicans have messed up the voting pattern in this state so many times. But this time, two primaries. Second primary is going to cost taxpayers of this state about $20 million. Shaking my head very hard. But I digress. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're doing fine. I do. I know so much is going on in the world. I just want to let you know that in this race, in this moment right now, I want to thank the supporters out there knocking doors. The canvassers, Team Turner is in full effect in the greater Cleveland district. And I want to thank you so very much for what you are doing. I want to thank the freedom fighting progressives all over this country who are standing up, who are donating to this campaign. I appreciate you. I appreciate those of you who are giving up your time, your talent, and your treasure. Some of you are giving all of the above, some one of those three things, others two of those three things. But combined, we are really pushing forward. A week out, I just want to share with you that dark money is pouring into this district, baby. And it ain't pouring in here for me. It is in the millions of dollars pouring in, for the other side. And so you got to ask yourself the why. If you can vote in the greater Cleveland district, you need to ask yourself why. Why would all that money come in here into our community to try to taint? Yeah, that's what taint and manipulate the outcome of this election. You should ask yourself that. These same forces were in here last year during the special election and they back again. I tell you, I get a mailer from a different pack almost every day. Almost every day. So you got to ask yourself, because it is not because they care about this district, because if they cared about this district, they would be making investments into the community. But the reason why they're doing it is they're trying to buy the election, because some politicians are for sale. Sister Turner, not for sale. And you know what? Greater Cleveland is not for sale. And we can show them that. We can absolutely show them that right now. So I want you to get out there and vote. You want to vote, vote right now. You can do early voting. And if in fact you care about who actually gets a chance to lead and to be in community with, you can make your voice heard. You can make that known in this district, that greater Cleveland, that Cleveland is not for sale. That's what I need to do. And speaking of sales, because we just having a little family conversation right now. Did y'all see that Elon Musk purchase? I know you did. $44 billion. Do you hear me? $44 billion. It is something unseemly about that. And when you look at the media conglomeration all across this country, you just got to ask yourself, what in the world is happening? We need some regulation. I mean, really? So, and he not by himself. I mean, look at the Washington Post. He not by himself. I mean, we doggone right. We definitely need to tax the rich. We need that windfall tax. They acting like this stuff is they daggone playground. So owning that platform, this man had problems with black employees. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. Black Twitter, I don't know. You better be careful, Black Twitter. God only knows what's going to happen now that this man owns the platform. And it's bad enough that in social media spaces, especially on Twitter, the level of vitriol, because people get to hide behind, they get to hide behind a wall. We don't even really know who they are. God knows, I only can imagine what might happen on that platform right now. The federal government needs to step in and break up these big tech, big all of this stuff, because it is no good for representative democracy. But the man then purchased it for $44 billion. So here we are, speaking of sale. Anyway, I want you to know that people are knocking doors. We have made 100,000 touches in this district alone to voters. We are out there in big ways. This community is out there talking neighbor to neighbor, friend to friend, frenemy to frenemy. So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to keep on pushing forward. We really are. And to all of the progressive organizations that have endorsed, I want to thank you. I'm clapping you up, shouting you out, because it is conscious-minded people, not just in this district, but in this country, that is going to change the course of this country. Oh, we got to do better, baby. This is untenable. The systemic problems of this nation are untenable, but we can fix those, and we can fix them together. Yeah, and we're going to do that. So I'm sending love. I want you to keep the faith and keep the fight. We going, baby, 7 days. Now, I will be back. I don't know what time, but it will definitely be the same station. I need those of you who are about a justice journey to go to ninaturner.com and donate. If you can come on up in here, we got a weekend of voting this Saturday and Sunday. Come on and do that thing. If you can't come in here, you can give of your time by volunteering. Go to ninaturner.com/volunteer. You can call time from anywhere in this country. You can do some call time. So I need you, baby. For Greater Cleveland, we got a decision to make. You got a choice. Are you going to allow these big money interests that really don't give a damn about the welfare of the people who live, work, and play in this community to buy this election? Because they renting it right now. They rented it last year. They want to buy it permanently this year. We can stop it. And then for those of you who are in the freedom fighting movement, whether you call yourself progressive or not, if you believe that we ought to have universal health care in this country, if you believe that student debt should be canceled, if you believe that the cost of prescription drugs should come down, if you believe that people ought to be able to unionize without fear of intimidation and being fired, and I'm not just talking about making a frappuccino, a cup of coffee, and standing in a picture with the Starbucks workers instead of being by their side and fighting with them. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. Politicians that use it for some publicity stunt. If you believe that workers ought to be able to unionize without fear of being fired or without intimidation, if you believe that women should get their whole damn dollar, if you believe that we need to reform a legal system that is unjust and working exactly as it was designed, and especially if you are Black, and baby, if you're poor from any identity, it ain't working for you. If you believe that we should be pushing to create a greater environment and a greater life for the least of these, our sisters and brothers and family and friends, then this is the race for you. I am that candidate. And you know what kind of Democrat I am? I am a Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed Democrat. That's it. That's it. And that's all. So join this movement, join this fight. I'm just a representation of a larger movement that is fighting for justice in all of its forms. And we need you, yes, you, ordinary people. You know, I talk to people who cannot afford that they cannot afford the prescription drugs. Something wrong with that in the United States of America. There's something wrong with it all around the world. But there's something especially wrong with that here. People who are strapped with student debt just for the crime of going to college? Really? People who are uninsured and underinsured. And then you got folks talking about, well, you got to be prim and proper about it. The pearl clutchers and the tighten tie. The people who want to tighten the ties. No, it's time out for that. The people are suffering in this country, and we need to not only say so, we got to fight for a better future that can ultimately be had in this country. But it ain't coming by accident. It has to come on purpose, and that purpose is to push. There are many great people throughout the course of history who did not accept the status quo, and they pushed. So, you know, they got these messages out here about being divisive. Well, you know what? The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was divisive by some people's standards because he challenged this country on its militarism, on poverty, on racism. Fannie Lou Hamer, a great civil rights activist from the great state of Mississippi, was considered divisive by the people of her day. And what was it? She wanted Black folks to be able to vote. Hello, somebody. FDR was considered divisive. You know what he told the status quo mofos of his time? He said, I welcome your hatred. He also said, judge me by my enemies. Well, guess what? And Sister Turner can keep on going, naming some folks. But I tell you this, judge me, baby, by my enemies. I am standing up for what is just, for what is right, and for what is good. And you know what? If people are so comfortable that they can clutch a pearl and tighten a tie, then God bless them. But there are people who are starving. Cleveland is the poorest city of its size in the United States of America right this moment, right now. 1 in every 2 children go to bed hungry at night, which means their mamas and daddies are going to bed hungry at night, and probably everybody else surrounded in that community. Yeah. So there are things that we need to do to make this a more perfect union. It is not just going to happen by accident. The city of Cleveland on the Underground Railroad was considered a station of hope. Hope, baby, is an action word. And it is no accident that Cleveland was the station of hope on the Underground Railroad. I am running this race to restore a lot of people's hope and to push for more, not to settle for it. That's what this modern day union activism is all about. They're not sitting there, fighting for a union if you don't have one. Hello, Amazon and Starbucks. And then for people who do have a union, hey, Sherwin-Williams workers in Greater Cleveland that I was standing side by side with, some people were with the shovel for the headquarters that's going to be in downtown Cleveland. Now, while I support that headquarters, I also support making sure workers get what they need and deserve, and they shouldn't have to gravel because they helped that company be able to build that shiny new headquarters. But think about the movement from last year to this year. Christian Small, I see you, baby. Think about it. Retail workers, I see you. They wasn't fighting to keep things the same. They were fighting for better wages, work conditions, and benefits. And for the industries or the companies that don't have unions, those workers are fighting to unionize because they know that their power lies in them collectively bargaining. They're not fighting to keep things the same. They are fighting for more. So it is an asinine proposition to think that people should not fight for more, that they should accept the status quo, that they should go gently into the night and just accept being exploited. That's insane right there. So Sister Turner is in good company with many freedom fighters across the ages who have stood up and put it all on the line for something that is bigger and better and greater than them. And I am no different. And some of you are no different either. We can do this thing. You certainly deserve better than what you are getting. And we're going to continue to fight. So, baby, keep the faith, keep the fight. NinaTurner.com, time, talent, treasure. I need you in here 7 days. We got multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires, baby, trying to buy this seat permanently. We can't let them do it. Because if they do it here in the 11th Congressional District, baby, they come into a district near you. So come on, let's stand up and do this thing. I'm sending love, I'm sending fight, I'm sending faith. All right, I'll see you again tomorrow. I don't know what time, but it'll be the same station. God bless. NinaTurner.com. Let's do this.